Now, why? You're running for politics. Don't you think you should be a professional politician? You don't buy into that stuff that the founding fathers did, where you think they should actually work in the society that they're managing. You don't think any of that stuff, do you?
Well, that's a good question. About 3 years ago, when I decided to get involved with this, I've mentioned before, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I don't have any political experience. I've never held a political office. I've never been elected to office. I've never run a company that's helped me become a millionaire. I'm not any of those things. I'm just an average citizen who's concerned. I see what happens. It seems like government's become much like a private sector job, where you work your way in entry level, and then you get promoted up, and at some point, if you work hard enough, you get promoted, and then you become a certain level there. And that's what I see happening in government. You see people working their way in, they're elected to one place, and they become what some people call career politicians. And I'm not going to say whether that's a good or a bad thing. Everyone can make their own determination on that. But my point is this, is that it's the same thing you were asking earlier about value. Should we as people believe that someone who has held a elected position longer, do they bring more value to the next position that they're running for? Possibly they understand better how government works, possibly they understand, but do they bring something to the table that makes them better able to run it? Like a CEO who learns his company's ins and outs and makes that a more efficient company. Does the elected person who works their way up from this position to the next, are they better equipped to lead? Or is it possible maybe that the statesman, the average person like myself and maybe someone else who would just step out and say, I want to get involved, should it be that someone has to step into the public arena at a low level and then work their way up? I'll be honest, I don't need to be in politics. We're very fortunate in our life. I don't need to do that. I don't need the job. Always could use more money, but I don't need that. But my point is this, is that we need to change something. And we possibly need to think about changing the idea that we need to elect the next politicians who needs to take the next step in their career, because that doesn't seem to be working very well for us.